Colorado High School Activities Association baseball is on 1010 KSR and KSR.com. From Valley High School in Gilcrest, the Brush Beaters face the Valley Vikings. Good afternoon. I'm Evan James with Kevin Fergus.
Very good, Evan. We start today's day. It's a blue sky. There's green grass, and we will set the starting lineups. Starting lineups are brought to you by Equitable Savings and Loan. Mobile banking on the go makes banking easier for you when you're on the go. Check it out today.
Carson Rule.
For Brush in the top half of the first inning. I'll just run through the lineup. Carson Rule will be leading off. Braxton Shelton hitting second. Nick Wellen third. Ben Garrett will be in the cleanup spot. To his charges here for the Brush Beat Diggers is confidence. One base at a time, one step at a time. Pitch from Kistler was inside, and Rule draws the base on ball. So that gets us a runner at first base. Gets us something going here at the top half of the first inning. Braxton Shelton comes to the plate. Braxton Shelton hitting .500, leading the team. His on-base percentage is .600, and Carson Rule gets a good lead at first base. The pitch from Kistler as he comes from the stretch, and it's fouled off as Braxton Shelton squares around to bunt, but it's just tapped foul. Carson Rule goes back to first base. The exciting thing about today's ball game is you have two pitchers that'll be pitching for Valley, Ty Kistler, and Bryson Wooldridge for Brush. I'll get to that in just a moment. The pitch, low and in the dirt, bounces away from the catcher, and Carson Rule moves up on the play from the wild pitch from Kistler.
Move up on the wild pitch.
So we have 1 ball, 1 strike to Braxton Shelton in the top half of the first inning. Kistler, the stretch, the pitch. Shelton hits the ball to right center field. There's nobody going to catch that. Carson Rule should be able to come around and score. He does. And Braxton Shelton is on his way to third base, sliding, and the ball's up against the fence, but they get the ball and keep it from going any further. But Braxton Shelton hit that ball a mile into right center field. Nice hit by Braxton Shelton, a triple.
Man, oh man, may we remind you that Braxton is only a freshman.
1-0.
That is the exciting thing for what Brush needs to see and understand, that they've got a lot of talented freshmen. So Brush has a run up in the first inning. Kistler from the full windup to Wellen. Nick Wellen. And that's a ball in the dirt. I was alluding to the fact that we have two pitchers today, Ty Kistler for Valley, Bryson Wooldridge for Brush. Both of them have low ERAs. The pitch from Kistler is a strike on the inner third of the plate. Kistler's ERA coming into the day is 1.02, and that is 5th in the Patriot League, and Bryson Wooldridge is 0.60, and that is 2nd in the Patriot League at this point in time. Pitch from Kistler to Wellen is outside. 2 balls and a strike. Shelton leads off from third. Wellen gets set. The pitch, low and outside. Ball 3. Brush is being patient, but what Coach Odell wants his charges to do is be confident. 1 base at a time, 1 runner at a time, 1 run at a time, and just continue to pile it up. The pitch from Kistler to Wellen, the inner third of the plate, strike. Full count to Nick Wellen. Nick Wellen hitting .422 coming into today's game. The pitch from Kistler, and Wellen pops it up. Looks like it's going to be far enough in the outfield, in center field. Shelton tags up from third, and the throw is up the line, and Shelton comes in and scores. On the out by the sacrifice fly by Nick Wellen.
Wellen will get the sac fly, bring in another run for the Beat Diggers, now leading 2-0.
That'll bring up Ben Garrett.
Now up for the Beet Diggers, number 15, Ben Garrett.
Ben Garrett sprays the ball all over the field. So there is one out, nobody on base. Brush has scored 2 runs in the top half of the first inning. Good start by Brush against Valley. Valley's record on the day coming into the game is 6 wins and 7 losses, and Brush is 8 wins and 5 losses. The pitch to Garrett, up and in, ball. Pitch from Kistler on the outer third of the plate at the black, at the knees, a strike. 1 ball and a strike to Garrett. Pitch from Kistler is up above Garrett's head. The opening pitch was brought to you by Buildings by Design. When it comes to experience, Buildings by Design is the best in the business. Quality, commitment, and experience make Buildings by Design the only choice when it comes to your next project. Pitch from Kistler is low and in the dirt. Ty Kistler on the mound. Normally he's the catcher. Servando Perez is the catcher for Valley today. The pitch from Kistler to Perez, fouled off down the right side by Garrett. The first brush run of the game is brought to you by Western Engineering Consultants. Engineering and consulting services for all your projects. Strong commitment to their clients needs set them apart. Garrett fouls that off to the right side. Get your project started right away with Western Engineering Consultants. Full count to Ben Garrett in the top half of the first inning. Brush 2, Valley nothing. Garrett walks as the pitch is on the outside
Garrett
of the plate.
draws the walk.
Pitcher Kistler drops to his hands to his knees. Can't believe that the umpire ended
Now
up calling that a
Beet
ball.
Diggers, number 12, Hondo
A little bit
Montos
frustrated
Garcia.
with the umpiring at this point, but everything I've seen so far, the umpire has been right on the money. Coach Odell, Coach Wellen, Ace Wellen, is talking to Alejandro Maltos Garcia in the, I guess not the on-deck circle, but just in foul territory over towards third base. Garrett will be on first base, leading off with 1 out. Maltos Garcia comes to the plate, hitting .364 on the day. His on-base percentage is .488. Kistler throws over to first base to make sure Garrett stays close. Valley today wearing their white pants with their gold tops with black numerals. They have a black hat. Pitch to Maltos Garcia, a strike, swinging strike. Kistler throws over to first base to keep Garrett close. Brush wearing their gray pants with their white road uniforms with the accents of gold and maroon. They've got their gold hats that they'll be wearing today. The pitch from Kistler outside, and the ball goes through the catcher's glove, and Garrett moves up to second base.
Garrett moves up to
So
second
that'll
base
be a
on the
pass ball on the catcher, Servando Perez. Count is 1 ball, 1 strike to Hondo. Garrett leads off from second base. Kistler the stretch. Delivers. Maltos Garcia hits a ball to right center field. The right fielder draws underneath it and gets a good throw, and Garrett tags up. Gets it to the third baseman, and they tag Garrett out
Eli
at third
makes the
base.
catch out in right
So they have a
field
double
and
play to
throws
end
up Beatty
the
to
first
third.
inning
Dominic
for
tags
Brush.
out for the third out of the inning. We will go to the bottom
Brush
of the first. Valley trailing 2-1.
Has the
2-0.
score of 2 and Valley Vikings 0. You're listening to Brush Beet Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. I'll give you the stats for the top of the first inning when we come back.
Welcome to Volunteer Field in Gilcrest, where the Brush Beet Diggers are leading the Valley Vikings 2-0.
Thank you, Evan James. And as we go to the bottom half of the first inning, Brush has the lead. They scored 2 in the top half of the first inning. I'll set the defense for Brush. Alejandro Maltos Garcia is in left field. Carson Rule is in center. And Eli Garcilazo is in right. In the infield, Ben Garrett will be at third. Nick Wellen at shortstop. Braxton Shelton, second base. Kyle Wellen will be playing first base. On the mound is Bryson Wooldridge, and behind the plate is Hunter Ludgate. The first pitch from Bryson Wooldridge is a strike on the black. Good way to start for Bryson. As I said in the top of the first, you got Wooldridge with a 0.60 ERA. Pitch from Wooldridge, off speed at the knees, a strike. So he has the batter, Jacob Miles, for Valley, down in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. The pitch from Wooldridge, outside. Jacob Miles will be leading off. Ty Kistler will be hitting second. Ty Stotts, third. Dominic Triana will be hitting fourth for the Valley Vikings. The pitch from Wooldridge. Late breaking movement on the outside part of the plate, but ball. Ludgate tries to move his glove to be able to steal a strike, but not quite. Wooldridge, the stretch, the pitch. Swung through by Miles. Ludgate gets the ball and throws down to Kyle Wellen at first. Wellen has to go up in order to receive the ball. Comes down on the bag, and Miles is out at first.
Now up for the Vikings, number 5, Tyler
Kistler hits the ball up the middle on the ground to center field. Carson Rule ends up picking it up in center field. So a hard hit ball by Kistler. We'll see if they end up doing a courtesy runner for Kistler.
Courtesy runner for Tyler.
Yeah, they sure do.
Number 17, Josiah Moudreau.
Josiah Moudreau will be the courtesy runner for Ty Kistler at first base. Brings up Ty Stotts. Ty Stotts
now for the Vikings,
hitting .351 on the season, sophomore for Valley. Ty Stotts has 12 RBIs in the corner of the plate. Strike one. Wooldridge has been throwing very, very good last week. It's usually fast, and so that's what Wooldridge is keeping close. Moudreau the lead, Wooldridge the pitch. Stotts fouls it off down the right field line, and out of play, no play for anybody. Garcilazo doesn't even change. Stotts fouls this off to the right side. 2-0 over Valley Vikings. Brush beat Valley about 3 weeks ago, 7-5 in Brush. That was a non-league game. His league game. Wooldridge goes to first base on the pickoff, but Moudreau is back. The pitch to Stotts, and Stotts hits the ball, line drive up the middle to center field. Rules it up, and Moudreau moves up to third base, and Stotts stays at first. Hard hit ball, line drive by Stotts.
Bring runners to first and third for the cleanup hitter, number 1, Dominic Triana.
Dominic Triana comes to the plate. Number 1 on his back, hits from the left side. Hitting fourth in the side, third of the plate to Triana. Valley has runners at first and third with 1 out. Triana gets a good look at Wooldridge. The pitch, swinging miss. He's down in the count, no balls, 2 strikes to Bryson Wooldridge. I'm sure Triana doesn't see too many lefties. I don't think there are too many lefties in the Patriot League, but I know Sterling has one. Pitch from Wooldridge, down low. 1 ball, 2 strikes. to Dominic Triana. Dominic Triana coming into today's game, hitting .351. Pitch from Wooldridge, wild pitch, gets past Ludgate, and Mudro comes in and scores. Stotts moves up to second base.
Score on the wild pitch. Stotts will move up to second. That'll bring the score to 2-1 Brush.
Stotts leads off from second. 2-2 count to Dominic Triana. 1 out. The pitch. Triana checks his swing, but it's a ball low and outside. Full count to pitch from
Dominic's going to drive
Wooldridge,
through the
and
right side of the infield.
Triana hits it between
for
the
a
first baseman and the
single.
second baseman on the ground for a single. Garcilaso picks it up, gets it back into the infield.
Bring
Stotts
runners at
moves
first
up
and
to second base,
for
or to third base,
for
excuse me.
number 15, Jason Garcia.
Jason Garcia. Jason Garcia fouls that, hits that up into the air a mile, and Kyle Wellen moves to his right off the bag
Jason will
and
pop
is
it
able
up to the
to
first baseman for the second out.
haul that in for the second out in the inning.
That'll bring up number 14, Servando Perez.
Servando Perez, a sophomore for Valley, comes up the plate with 2 outs. Stotts at third, Triana at first. Servando Perez hitting .340 coming into today's game. Where's number 14 in his back? He's the catcher for Valley. Wooldridge, just to make sure Triana stays close, over to first base with a off, but Triana's back. Throwing strikes on first pitch. Out at second. So as we go to the break after one complete innings, Brush 2, Valley 1. You're listening to Brush Beat Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. I'll be right here, and I'll set you up.
Okay, sounds good.
I'll set you up and tell you who's coming to the plate, and then you just go from there.
Okay.
Leading off the top of the second for the Beat Diggers, number 10, Bryson Wooldridge.
Okay, sounds good.
Bryson Wooldridge hits the ball up the middle to the shortstop, and shortstop gets it over to first base, and it's late, so Bryson Wooldridge leads off with base hit. The top of the first inning, Brush scored 2 runs on 1 hit. There was no errors and nobody left on base. The bottom of the first inning, Valley scored 1 run on 3 hits. There was no errors, and they left 1 on base. Wooldridge hit the first pitch to lead off the top of the second inning to the shortstop, and he was able to get on base. And we have courtesy runner for Bryson Wooldridge, Caden Schwint at first base. Hunter Ledgate squares around to bunt, bunts through the ball. Catcher Servando Perez throws down to Jason Garcia, the first baseman, and applies the tag, but Schwint, the courtesy runner, is back into the base safe. The pitch from Ty Kistler, bunted by Ludgate up the first baseline. Sacrifice bunt. Schwint moves up to second base.
The runner along with the sac bunt.
And Ludgate's thrown out at first base. So sacrifice bunt by Ludgate. Schwint moves up to second.
27, Eli Garcilaso.
Eli Garcilaso comes to the plate for Brush in the bottom of the second inning. Swings through the pitch from Kistler. Swinging strike. Brush has 2 runs on 2 hits. Valley has 1 run on 3 hits. Garcilaso sets. Pitch from Kistler. Outside. At the knees. Kistler didn't like the location of where that pitch was. Well, he liked the location of where that pitch was, but he didn't like what the umpire ended up calling it as a ball. 1 ball and a strike to Eli Garcilaso. He grounds the ball hard to first baseman Jason Garcia. Steps on the bag for the force out at first, and Caden Schwint moves up from second to third. So a ground out by Garcilaso. Hard ground out.
Schwint will move up to third. Now up for the Beat Diggers, number 13,
So we've
Kyle
got
Wellen.
a runner at third base in the form of Caden Schwint for Brush, and that brings up Kyle Wellen to the plate. Kyle Wellen, freshman, gets good wood on the ball, hits the ball to left center field. The ball's going to drop in left center field. So Kyle Wellen gets an RBI, and Caden Schwint comes in to score. So Brush increases their lead
Will bring a run in
to 3-1.
That'll bring the score to 3-1.
So Wellen on at first, and that brings up the top of the lineup. Carson Rule walked his first time up. Kyle Wellen leads off. The pitch from Kistler to Perez, and Carson Rule lines the ball to the third baseman, Dominic Triana. Triana goes upstairs on the ladder and squeezes it, comes down with the out, and that is the out. The third out for Brush, and Brush scores a run in the top half of the third inning. So Brush Beat Diggers 3, Valley Vikings 1. You're listening to Brush Beat Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com.
Perez.
Welcome back to Volunteer Field in Gilcrest, where the Brush Beat Diggers are leading the Valley Vikings 3-1. Correction.
3-1. Servando Perez comes up as he was at the plate when Dominic Triana was tagged out at third base, or at second base on the attempted stolen base. The first pitch from Wooldridge is a ball, up and in. Ball hit by Servando to Nick Wellen. Nick Wellen takes it off the chest. It falls in front of him. And for the error against Nick Wellen.
We'll get a courtesy runner for Servando. Number 8, Gio Mendoza.
So that'll bring up Gio.
Now up for the Vikings.
Oh, I'm
number
sorry.
21,
Gio Mendoza is the courtesy
Blanco.
runner for Servando Perez. That brings up to the plate Brandon Blanco. Pitch from Wooldridge outside. Brandon Blanco is the designated hitter for Valley Vikings today. Giovanni Mendoza leads off at first, and he just got picked off. Bryson Wooldridge, lefty, leaning the wrong way, and he broke towards second base and then came back to the bag, and Wooldridge picks him off. So Wooldridge to Kyle Wellen for the out. So that gives us 1 out. 1 ball, no strikes to Brandon Blanco. Curveball on the outside part of the plate, a ball. 2 balls, no strikes to Blanco, the designated hitter for the Valley Vikings. Pitch on the outside corner of the plate. A strike. 2 balls and a strike. The pitch from Wooldridge outside. 3 balls and a strike to Brandon Blanco. So far, so good for Brush. 3-1 with the lead.
Brandon draws the walk for the
Brandon
Vikings.
Blanco
Now
gets a
up,
walk
number 3,
and moves to
Jesus
first base.
Villalobos.
There is one out. So Jesus Villalobos comes to the plate for Valley. Number 8 hitter in the lineup. Blanco leads off at first base. Wooldridge throws the pitch. Swinging strike by Jesus Villalobos. Like he offered at a pitch that was outside. The pitch from Wooldridge. Inner third of the plate. Catches the plate for a strike. So Villalobos is down, no balls, 2 strikes. Blanco leads off at first. Not much of a lead, especially with a left-hander on the mound. Wooldridge, the pitch, fouled back to the screen. Count remains, no balls, 2 strikes to Jesus Villalobos. He's a junior for the Valley Vikings. Wooldridge peers in to Hunter Ludgate, his battery mate. The pitch outside. Good location. Give Villalobos an opportunity to look at something besides right down the middle. Maybe he might offer at it. Wooldridge brings the pitch, strikes him out.
Jesus goes down looking for the second out of the inning. Now for the Vikings,
2 outs for
number
Brush.
12, Izzy
That's the second
Gutierrez.
strikeout for Bryson Wooldridge on the day. Izzy Gutierrez comes to the plate, number 9 hitter. Wears number 12 on his back. The pitch from Wooldridge, outside. Brandon Blanco leads off at first base, not far, after his teammate was picked off earlier in this inning by Bryson Wooldridge. Pitch from Wooldridge, outside. Good location. Give Izzy something to ponder as Wooldridge gets set from the stretch and brings the pitch. Wooldridge throws over to first base. Blanco back into the bag safely. Wooldridge gets the ball back on the rubber, toes the rubber, brings the pitch. Pitch on the outer part of the plate, but the umpire raised his right hand, but I think he was scratching his forehead. So ball 3. He's had that motion before, and it's come out to be a strike, but he was just adjusting his mask. Pitch from Wooldridge. Strike. Wasn't automatic. That was on the outer part of the plate. Really crossed the black. The pitch 3-1 from Wooldridge. And it's lined to Braxton Shelton at second base. One hop. Shelton gets it over to Nick Wellen at first
for the third out of
the inning. So we go to the bottom half of the inning, the second inning, with Brush leading 3 to Valley Vikings 1.
Valley trailing.
You're listening to Brush Beat Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com.
Welcome back to Volunteer Field in Gilcrest, where the Brush Beat Diggers are facing the Valley Vikings. It is 3-1 in favor of Brush.
Braxton Shelton leads off this top half of the third inning. Shelton, pitch on the outside corner of the plate. 1 ball and a strike to Braxton Shelton. Kistler brings it, and Shelton grounds it weakly to the shortstop. Shortstop throws over to first base, but Shelton legs it out.
The throw at first for a single.
So that'll bring up Nick Wellen. Nick Wellen flied out to center field, his first time up for a sacrifice fly, and brought in Brush's second run of the game. Pitch from Kistler. Shelton leads off from first. The stretch outside. One ball, no strikes to Nick Wellen, number 3 hitter in Brush's lineup. Nobody out. Shelton leads off. The pitch. Pitch up and in to Nick Wellen. Nick should be able to set himself up to see a pitch in his zone to where he can drive it. Make good contact with it, barrel it up, put it in play. The stretch. And Wellen fouls it off. Back behind. 2 balls and a strike to Nick Wellen. Shelton's getting a good lead at first base. Over the years, as Brush has played Valley, both high school and summer league, whenever Brush has faced Ty Kistler, Brush has usually put up good numbers against him. The pitch from Kistler, Wellen squares around, but nothing doing, and the first baseman starts to come in, and Kistler turns for the pickoff, but holds on to the ball. Kistler, the pitch, throws over to first base. Jason Garcia applied the tag, but Braxton Shelton is back safe in at first base. Kistler with the sign. Nick Wellen fouls it off to the batter's box, Brush's batter's box up the first base side. Ben Garrett picks up the ball. He'll bring it to the umpire at the conclusion of this at bat. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Nick Wellen. Nobody out for Brush. Brush with a 3-1 lead over the Valley Vikings. Pitch. Wellen pops it up. Jason Garcia has plenty of room. Ventures into foul ground and squeezes the ball for the out.
For the first out of the inning.
That'll bring up Ben Garrett. Braxton Shelton holds up on the play.
Ben Garrett.
Not really a place to go with a ball being in the infield, but Ben Garrett comes up to the box, ready to hit. Kistler, the offering, and Garrett fouls it off to the bat and backing out of play. Shelton leads off at first with 1 out. Kistler, this is 40 pitches into the game, and we're in the top of the 3rd inning. Garrett wears number 15 on his back. The pitch. Curveball. Outer third of the plate for a strike. Ben is down. No balls, 2 strikes. Ben just needs to have a good approach at this point. Put the ball in play. Make sure we don't hit into double play. Garrett fouls it down a right field line and out of play. Hits the top of the Brush's dugout. Garrett saw a tough pitch from Ty Kistler. As I was saying, just seemed like Brush has been able to do well against Ty Kistler over the years. And Ty has pitched a number of times against Brush, but normally he's behind the plate. Pretty good catcher, all-conference catcher for Valley Vikings, but he's on the hill today, throws over to first base. Keep Braxton Shelton close. Garrett at the plate just needs to put the ball in play with confidence, move up 1 base at a time. That's all we need to do at this point. The pitch from Kistler. Shelton takes off to second base, and the umpire calls him out.
We got to strike him out, throw him out for the second and third outs of the inning. Vikings get out, but we'll go to the bottom of the 3rd. Valley trailing 3-1.
I'll catch up with you with the hits, runs, and errors at the beginning of the next inning. Brush Beet Diggers 3, Valley Vikings 1 after 2.5 innings. You're listening to Brush Beet Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. We go to the bottom of the 3rd inning with Brush leading the Valley Vikings. Brush Bee Diggers 3, Valley Vikings 1. Up the bat for Valley in the bottom half of the third inning is Jacob Miles. Evan James is going to do play-by-play here for a few batters for Valley here as we start this bottom of the third inning. Evan, take it away.
All right. First pitch from Bryson Woldridge is basically right down the middle, maybe a little on the outside. That's a strike to Jacob Miles. Swing and a miss. And that's strike number 2.
Jacob Miles struck out his first time swinging in his first time at bat in the bottom of the first inning.
And he lunges on one, straight to second baseman, Braxton Shelton.
Just beats Miles
and Braxton gets it into Kyle Wellen for the first out.
And
next up for Valley is Ty Kistler.
Tyler Kistler.
The pitcher for the Valley Vikings.
Kistler hit a line shot up the middle his first time at bat.
And that will be a ball. Looked like a strike, but it's what the umpire says. So, ball 1 to the pitcher. Swing straight to Ben Garrett on third base. And another throw out to Kyle Wellen. So 2 outs. No one on
That'll bring up number 25,
in the bottom of the third inning. Bringing up Ty Stotts.
That was a 2-hopper to Ben Garrett. Ben Garrett played it just off the grass and was able to get the ball over to Kyle Wellen at first base.
The pitch. And that's low for Ty Stotts. Bryson Woldridge gets set. And the offering. Right down Broadway for a strike. Legate with the sign. And the offering. Little on the outside for Ty Stotts.
That was close. That was really close. The umpire has called those as strikes today already.
Oh, yeah. The pitch. Swing and a miss. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs in the bottom of the third inning. And up to bat is Ty Stotts. Swung on straight to Nick Wellen at shortstop. And that is the end of the third inning with Brush Bee Diggers 3 and Vikings 1. You're listening to Brush Bee Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Welcome back to Volunteer Field in Gilcrest, where the Bee Diggers lead the Valley Vikings 3-1.
Alejandro Maltos Garcia comes to the plate. Brush has 3 runs on 4 hits. Valley has 1 run on 3 hits. The pitch from Kistler, fouled back by Maltos Garcia. Out of play.
Ooh.
Ty Kistler, this will be his 45th pitch as we go into the top of the 4th inning. Hondo gets set. Curveball on the outside part of the plate. And outside, did I say outside? Ball. Kistler, he's thinking that everything he's throwing is a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike to Maltos Garcia. The pitch from Kistler, fouled back by Maltos Garcia, up against the screen. Woldridge comes over, picks up the ball. A ball and a strike, ball and 2 strikes to the freshman Maltos Garcia. The pitch from Kistler, swinging strike, fouled back into the glove for
Toronto squeezes
out 1.
Fouled strike 3 for the first out of the inning.
Brings up Bryson Woldridge. Bryson
That'll
Woldridge
bring up number 10.
singled
Bryson Woldridge.
up the middle his first time up. Pitcher against pitcher. Kistler to Wooldridge, the pitch, low and outside. This will be pitch number 50 for Ty Kistler. Inside to Wooldridge. 2 balls, no strikes. Both are seniors, Kistler and Wooldridge. A pitch from Wooldridge, fouled off down the left field line, out of play. They've faced each other numerous times before, but today's game, 2 similar teams in the amount of runs scored, but the difference is depth, the way I look at it. Valley's lost the last 3 games to start the Patriot League play. The pitch from Kistler. Wooldridge pops it up to second base. Izzy Gutierrez gets underneath the bag, gets underneath the ball in order to squeeze it for the out. Valley's lost their 3 games to start Patriot League play. They lost to Sterling 8-5. They lost to Liberty Common 5-4, and they lost to Resurrection Christian 2-1. The pitch from Kistler. A ball up and in to Ludgate. Ludgate had the sacrifice bunt his last time at the plate, so officially he's 0 for 0 on the day. The pitch from Kistler. Swinging strike. So Valley lost these 3 games, being outscored 15-10. Brush has won 2 of 3 games in the Patriot League play to start things off. Ludgate swings at the offering, down in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Brush won 2 of the 3 games, winning against Platte Valley 1-0 and against Estes Park 8-7. Pitch from Kistler outside, and they lost on Saturday to University 11-1. Total amount of runs, Brush gave up 18 and scored 10.
Side gets him swinging for the 3rd out of the inning.
Ludgate swings at a pitch that's up and in on the strike zone and strikes out for the 3rd out in the inning. No runs on no hits, no Valley errors, and nobody left on base for Brush. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Brush leading Valley 3-1. You're listening to Beat Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. To the bottom of the 4th inning with Valley trailing Brush 3-1. We go. Dominic Triana, the left-hander, comes up to the plate for Valley. He'll be facing Bryson Wooldridge, who is thrown 47 pitches. Evan James will do play-by-play as we take off here. Dominic Triana, the hitter for Valley.
As Kevin said, lefty on lefty. Bryson's first pitch is a little up, but it is strike 1. Bryson looking in. And the offering. Low, gets behind Ludgate. It's for ball 1.
Bounced off the wood backstop up here against the screen. Bounces back to Ludgate, and he gets back to the pitcher. As a pitcher, I always like that because you never know. You might get a cut baseball, and then you can make good things happen with the baseball if you know what to do with it.
Oh, yeah. The last pitch that he just threw was outside. So that brings up ball 2, 1 strike. And a little inside for ball 3.
I thought that was a good-looking pitch.
That was a very good-looking pitch in my opinion.
If it wasn't on the block, it was down the river.
Oh, yeah. Swang and a miss for Dominic Triana. Full count. Now lefty on lefty. And Ludgate lays down the sign. Popped up for Nick Wellen to make the catch.
To the shortstop right behind the mound.
So shortstop Nick Wellen makes the first out on Dominic Triana. And that brings up
15,
number 15, Jason Garcia. Ludgate with the sign. And the offering inside and low. Ball 1. The pitch outside, and that'll bring up ball 2 for Jason Garcia. Swing and a miss. That's strike 1. A swinging strike, excuse me.
It's an alliterative there, Evan. An S and an S.
Yeah. And he swings on one, driving it down the third baseline. And that is called fair, and he gets a double off of it.
Just inched past Ben Garrett at third base. Garrett dove, but the ball got past him and into left field for the double down the line.
And that'll bring up number 14, Servando Perez.
Servando Perez is the catcher for Valley.
Wooldridge looking in. And the pitch. A little up and outside. Ball 1. We have a runner on second.
Jason Garcia is leading off from the bag, not far.
The pitch, strike 1 for Servando Perez. So 1 ball, 1 strike, and 1 out in the bottom of the 4th inning. Brush Beatigers leading 3-1.
Wooldridge steps off the back of the rubber, asks Hunter Ludgate to give him a new sign.
And the offering. That's in the dirt, but Hunter Ludgate manages to keep it in front of him.
I think it got tied up in his feet, and it doesn't matter whether it hits in front of the plate or not. If it hits the batter will go to first base.
And that'll bring up Brandon Blanco. And we have runners on first and second for the Valley Vikings. And
Brandon Blanco walked his last time at the plate.
Yep. The offering. Right in there for strike 1.
Blanco is the number 7 hitter in the lineup. I think when Bryson got to these guys in the order, he dominated.
And looked almost exactly like the same pitch, but it's called a ball by the umpire. So 1 ball, 1 strike to Brandon Blanco.
I think that was coming down the white line where the batter's box is.
And the next pitch was fouled straight back into the wooden backstop. And it's foul, so that would be strike 2.
Runners on first and second for Valley. 1 out. Infield fly rule is in effect for the umpires.
Foul ball. Again, straight back. Looked like it hit right on the head of Hunter Ludgate.
I think it might have came off his glove. I think it tipped off the top edge of his glove and came back. It had a funny spin as it was coming all the way to the screen.
Oh, yeah. Gets set. The pitch is up and in. So 2 balls, 2 strikes to Brandon Blanco.
Pitch number 65 for Bryson Wooldridge coming up. This pitch right here.
Again, up. So it's a full count with runners on first and second.
We'll see what Coach Kistler does if he starts his runners.
And the offering. Swung on and popped foul back and over the fence.
Sometimes you don't always start your runners, especially with 1 out. 2 outs you always do, but with 1 out, you need to have somebody that can handle the bat pretty good, put ball in play if the ball's a strike.
And they offering another foul ball. Still full count to Brendan Blanco. 1 out in the bottom of the 4th inning with runners on 1st and 2nd.
See if Brush can turn a double play here. That'd be ideal.
Foul straight back again. And
Brendan Blanco has fouled off enough balls that the umpire's gone through everything in his bag. So they were waiting on balls from the home team's dugout up the third baseline. Beautiful day in Gilcrest, blue sky, green grass, sunshine.
oh yeah. And that'll be ball 4 inside.
Which will load the bases.
And now
for number
the bases
3,
are loaded for the Valley Vikings.
Villalobos.
Bringing up number 3, Jesus Villalobos. Looks like he's doing something in the back. But
Coach Tom Odell goes out to the mound in order to talk to Bryson Woldridge and the infield. 1 out, bases loaded. Odell is going to make sure that, 1, Woldridge is okay. 2, that he is able to continue to throw strikes because he has nowhere to be able to put anybody. And 3, be able to take care of the infield. What are we doing? Are we going to stay at double play depth up the middle, or are we going to bring everybody in and cut the run off at the plate? We'll see what Odell has set up for the Brush Beet Diggers. Bryson Woldridge has thrown 69 pitches, 40 of them strikes, 29 balls at this point in the ball game.
Now up for the Vikings.
And that brings up
number
Jesus
3,
Villalobos.
Jesus Villalobos.
and Bryson Woldridge looks in. The offering swung on and driven into left field as Hondo Maltos Garcia drops it.
That ball will drop in front of
And
the left fielder out of his glove for a
one
single. It
run
will bring
in
a run
for the Valley
in.
Vikings.
Valley
And
now trailing 3-2.
Villalobos gets a base hit on a dropped ball by Alejandro Maltos Garcia.
So the bases remain loaded. The ball
Now
was
for
hit
the
out to
Vikings,
Hondo and
number
left.
12,
Hondo gave chase
Izzy
and went towards the line,
Gutierrez.
stretched out, but the ball just glanced off his glove. Base hit for Valley. Bases still loaded with one out.
And the pitch fouled with Wellen, Shelton, and it looks like
Ivan Cardenas.
Ivan Cardenas all giving chase, but no one ends up with it. So strike one for
Izzy Gutierrez.
Izzy Gutierrez. Swung on right past pitcher's
There's our
mound.
double play right
Double
there.
play.
Perfect.
Shortstop
Tigers are
Nick
gonna be
Wellen
able to turn the double play to get
turns
out
double
of the
play
inning.
to Braxton
Valley
Shelton.
will put one on the board.
And
We'll go
Braxton,
to the top of the
in
fifth.
turn,
Valley trailing
gets it to Kyle
3-2.
Wellen. That all makes the double play. So we get out of this inning with small damage.
One run for Valley on 2 hits. There were no brush errors. There were 2 runners left on base. We go to the top of the 5th inning with Brush leading Valley. Brush 3, Valley 2. You're listening to Beet Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com.
Welcome back to Volunteer Field in Gilcrest, where the Brush Beet Diggers lead the Valley Vikings 3-2. And leading off for the Beet Diggers is right fielder Ivan Cardenas.
First pitch from Ty Kistler. Cardenas swings and fouls it off. Next pitch from Kistler is a breaking ball out of the zone. Outside and out of the zone. 1 ball and a strike to Ivan Cardenas. Cardenas fouls it down the third base side past Coach Odell.
up to bat is number 6, Ivan Cardenas.
Kistler on the day, pitch 60. This is pitch 61. Cardenas fouls it off towards the Brush dugout. A couple guys over there scramble. It was a hard line drive. Cardenas get around late on that pitch. The offering from Kistler, breaking ball, goes into the dirt. Servando Perez scoops it up, but it's a ball. Two balls, 2 strikes to Ivan Cardenas. And that one's right on the black for a strike 3 looking for the first out in the inning.
Now up, number 13, Kyle Wellen.
Probably wonder if the PA announcer and I are on the same page, if we're brothers or twins. We said the exact same thing. That brings up Kyle Wellen. Kyle had a hit his first time at the plate. Pitch from Kistler is outside. 1 ball and a strike to Kyle Wellen, the freshman. Off speed on the inner part of the plate, but ruled a ball. 2-0 to Wellen. Wellen hits the ball hard past the third baseman down the line. Wellen on his horse, quick runner, and gets to second for a double. And that brings to the plate, the top of the order, Carson Rule.
Number 34, Carson Rule.
Carson Rule is 0 for 1 officially for the day. He walked his first time and scored and lined out his last at bat. Kyle Wellen leads off from second. Not far. Kistler with a pitch. A ball to Carson Rule. See if Brush can get the runner around to be able to score here to get that run back. I think that was fouled back into the catcher's glove. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Actually went right over and into the stands, the Valley Vikings stands. Luckily, no one was hit.
The offering from Kistler upstairs to Carson Rule. 2 balls and a strike. Carson Rule's road uniform, he wears number 34. His home uniform, he wears number 24. The ball was hit by Carson Rule to left field, and Kistler.
They get him at second. He will get the credit for the hit.
We'll take care of this. Carson Rule hit the ball to left field. Left fielder picks the ball up, throws to third base. Kyle Wellen slides safely into third. Triana picks up the ball and throws to the second baseman. And the second baseman, Izzy Gutierrez, puts the tag on Carson Rule. So Carson Rule had a base hit, moved the runner up to third.
That'll bring up number 18, Braxton Shelton.
And that'll bring up Braxton Shelton. To the plate. Runner at third. Shelton fouls that back to out of play. Nobody gives chase. No ball, 1 strike pitch to Shelton from Kistler. Kistler throws a curveball to Shelton. Shelton fouls it off the right side, off the top of the Brush Beat Digger dugout. Kistler going from the full windup with a runner at third base in the form of Kyle Wellen. Braxton Shelton is 2 for 2 on the day. He hit a triple his first time, single his second time. Down on the count, 0-2. Pops this up down the right field line. Everybody's looking, giving chase, but it's foul. Second baseman Izzy Gutierrez probably had the best chance of being able to catch that, but it was just outside his outstretched glove as he dove. But you had Jason Garcia and Eli Knowles over there as well giving chase. Ty Kistler, this will be number 74 on the pitches from him on the day to Braxton Shelton. Shelton fouls that pitch. It was up around the numbers, but he fouled it back to the screen. Shelton's battling hard, try to keep his perfect day alive. Kistler, on the other hand, is going to do everything he can to try to get his team back to the dugout. Shelton hits a ball to right center field again, and that ball's going to land. Welland scores. Shelton goes to second with a stand-up double.
Going to drive one to the right center gap to the fence.
And man, oh man, lots of power for not a big kid. I mean,
4-2.
He's not the biggest, but
no,
he's got a lot of power.
But he's got a lot of power, that's for sure. Braxton Shelton has a perfect day going on. He has a single, double, and triple. We'll see if he gets at bat number 4 later in the game to see if he can go for the cycle. Nick Welland comes to the plate with Shelton on at second with 2 outs. Kistler from the stretch. Jesus Villalobos goes behind Shelton in order to draw the throw from Kistler, but Kistler comes to the plate. It's a ball to Nick Welland. Nick Welland is 0 for 1 with an RBI in the first inning. And Kistler attempts pickoff to to the shortstop, Jesus Villalobos. Braxton Shelton slides in head first, gets his hand on the bag, safe. Kistler, the sign, the pitch. Shelton is going to round third and score. Welland hit the single that was just out of the on the outside stretched glove of Villalobos at shortstop into left field. So Brush gets 2 runs in this inning. And that brings Coach Kistler to the mound in order to talk to Ty Kistler, the pitcher, who's also his son, who's also a senior this year. It's a second visit, but first visit this inning. That'll bring up to the plate Ben Garrett. Coach Kistler satisfied with how everything is going on the mound. Kistler, the pitcher, 77 on the day. 48 strikes, 29 balls.
15, Ben Garrett.
Coach Kistler, Steve Kistler, goes back to the dugout. 2 outs for Valley. Brush with a runner at first base in the form of Nick Welland. Ben Garrett up to the plate. Kistler throws a courtesy throw over to first base to make sure Nick Welland stays close. Score is 5-2. Brush Beet Diggers with the lead. Pitch from Kistler slips out of his hand, breaking ball, and spins around the outside of Ben Garrett in the right-handed batter's box for a ball. How that ball did not hit Ben Garrett, I do not know. Garrett stands in, confident, ready to put the ball in play for Brush. Takes the pitch upstairs. 2 balls, no strikes to Ben Garrett. Ben Garrett walked his first time up. Last time up, he struck out. Welland leads off from first. The pitch from Kistler. Garrett fouls that back to the screen. Maltos Garcia comes and picks up the ball. Takes it back to the on-deck circle for the Brush Beet Diggers up the first baseline. When we left Brush today, the wind was blowing, but things are calm here in Valley today. Beautiful day for baseball, 66 degrees, opening game temperature. Kistler throws over to keep Welland close at first. Garrett gets set, ready to hit. Ball is down and in to Garrett. 3 balls and a strike. This is where Ben Garrett needs to have that proper approach to where he sees a pitch in his zone. He needs to unload on it. Kistler throws over to first base. Welland's getting a pretty good lead. Welland, a good athlete, a good runner, quick. Garrett, 3 balls, 1 strike. The pitch from Kistler. Welland takes off and is safe on the steal to second. And
Welland will steal second.
there's a strike to Ben Garrett, so we have a full count. Kistler got it to Perez quickly. Perez's throw just drifted off to the right field side of second base. The pitch from Kistler, and Garrett hits it to the second baseman. Second baseman makes a nice play in order to scoop up the ball and get it over to first base for the out.
Go to the bottom of the fifth.
So Brush scored 2 runs. Brush 5, Valley 2 after 4.5 innings of play. You're listening to Beat Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com.
Welcome back to Volunteer Field in Gilcrest, where the Brush Beat Diggers lead the Valley Vikings 5-2.
Brush in the top half of the 5th inning scored 2 runs on 4 hits. There were no Valley errors. Brush left 1 runner on base. Both those runs were earned.
Jacob Miles.
So that brings up the top of the order for Valley in the bottom half of the 5th inning in the form of Jacob Miles, a senior. Jacob Miles struck out and grounded out, so he's officially 0 for 2 for the day. First pitch to Miles, a ball from Wooldridge. The pitch. Miles pops it up
Miles will loop one
into short right field. Braxton Shelton ventures to his left and is able to squeeze that. Killer is 1 for 2 on the single, and he got by that. The pitch from Bryson Wooldridge outside. 2 balls, no strikes to the senior Ty Kistler. The pitch from Wooldridge outside. 3-0 to Ty. Beautiful day for Brush. They've got the lead. See if they can keep it here. Pitch, strike. Right at the knees. 3 balls and a strike. 1 out. The pitch, outside.
TK
Ball 4.
draws the walk for the Vikings.
I would
That'll bring
imagine
up
that we end up
number
having
25,
a courtesy runner.
Ty Stutz.
Coach Steve Kistler is going to keep his son Ty Kistler at the bag at first with no courtesy runner. That brings up the sophomore Ty Stotts. Ty Stotts officially on the day, 1 for 2. He single, and he also flew out. Kistler leads off from first base. First pitch, a strike to Stotts. Brush has 5 runs on 8 hits. Valley has 2 runs on 5 hits. Brush is left 2. Valley is left 4. Wooldridge throws over to first to keep Kistler close. Second time in a row. So that's twice Kistler has been forced back to the bag by Wooldridge, the left-hander, who has a really good move to first base. The pitch from Wooldridge, up and out of the zone, away from Stotts. Stotts is a good-sized kid, well over 6 feet, big, broad shoulders. The pitch from Wooldridge. And Stotts, 2-hopper to Wellen at short. Wellen gets it to Shelton at second for the force out and for the fielder's choice, and Stotts safe at first.
Choice. They'll get the lead runner at second. Stotts will beat the throw at first. Now up for the Vikings, number 1, Dominic Triana.
Dominic Triana, the number 4 hitter for Valley, lefty against lefty, lines the first pitch from Woldridge right up the middle. Carson Rule gets the ball, gets it back to the infield to Nick Wellen quickly, but Triana has a base hit up the middle, and that moves Stotts to second base, Triana to first base.
Number 15, Jason Garcia.
Jason Garcia, the junior, 1 for 2 officially on the day. He flew out and also hit a double. 2 outs for Brush. Pitch from Woldridge, low and outside to Jason Garcia. Jason Garcia is the one that's been soaking up most of the innings as a pitcher for Valley. Garcia fouls that back and out of play. Got a force out all the way around on the bases, first, second, and third. 2 outs. See if Brush can get out of here without giving up any runs. Number 5 hitter, Jason Garcia, for the Valley Vikings. The pitch from Woldridge. Fouled down the line, or fouled off his foot, and then the ball moved about 40 feet up the third baseline. Ludgate picks up the ball, wipes off the chalk, gives the ball back to Bryson Woldridge, taps him on the backside and says, let's get out of here. Let's get out of here without giving up any runs. Woldridge, 86 pitches on the day. We're getting close, but not quite. He's thrown a fine game so far, the pitch from Woldridge, and it's chopped by Garcia back to the pitcher Woldridge. Woldridge steps and throws to the first baseman Kyle Wellen for the third out in the inning.
For the third out of the inning.
Soft grounder.
On the 6.
Woldridge sitting at 87 pitches. Brush Beat Diggers Baseball on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com.
Welcome back to Volunteer Field in Gilcrest as the Brush Beat Diggers lead the Valley Vikings 5-2.
We have a pitching change for the Valley Vikings. Servando Perez goes to the hill, and Ty Kistler comes behind the plate. So for Valley, it's just a switch between pitcher and catcher.
And Ty Kistler
had 83 pitches on the day.
Starting off the 6th inning
for Brush, coming to the plate in the top of the 6th inning is Alejandro Maltos Garcia. He's 0 for 2 officially for the day. He flew out and struck out. See if Hondo can get something going here with a new pitcher on the mound, Servando Perez. Servando Perez has a 5.83 ERA. He's pitched 6 innings, given up 4 base on balls, and has 6 strikeouts. First pitch from Servando, a strike to Hondo. Servando looks in and brings the offering outside. 1 ball, 1 strike to Alejandro Maltos Garcia. Brush with a 5-2 lead over the Valley Vikings. The pitch from Servando, outside, low, 2 balls and a strike. See if Brush can get up an insurance run or 2 or 5. Wouldn't that be wonderful? Pitch up and in from Servando to Hondo. 3 balls, 1 strike. Servando looks in to get the sign from Kistler. The pitch up Alejandro Maltos Garcia walks to lead off
bring up number 10,
the top of the 6th inning. Bryson Wooldridge comes to the plate. 1 for 2 on the day. Single and a fly out.
Transwest believes that customers are number one. Check out their selection online or just stop by one of their dealerships in Fort Morgan or Sterling today.
Alejandro gets a lead at first. Wooldridge fouls the first pitch towards the third base dugout of Valley. Hondo was off with the pitch, but he comes back to first because of the foul. Wooldridge, one base at a time. Confidence right here. Bryson squares around. And nothing doing. Servando steps off the rubber. Hondo goes back to first base. Wooldridge squares around again and bunts up the first baseline. Perfect. Kistler picks up the ball, throws to first base. Jason Garcia for the out. Alejandro Maltos Garcia moves up to second base.
Down. Ty Kistler will field it and throw him out at first for the first out of the inning.
So that brings up Hunter Ludgate.
Number 4, Hunter Ludgate
comes up to the bat with Alejandro Maltos Garcia for Brush at second. Ludgate 0 for 1 officially. He had a sacrifice. Bunt. Fouls the first pitch to the screen. And Hunter also struck out. Brush has something going here in the top of the 6th inning with 1 out. Runner in scoring position. See if Ludgate can come through with a base hit by putting the ball in play. The pitch underneath Ludgate's numbers. Inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. This will be pitch number 10 for Servando. 5 balls, 4 strikes. The pitch. 6 balls, 4 strikes. Count is 2 balls and a strike to Hunter Ludgate, the junior for the Brush Beet Diggers. Coach Odell instructing Hondo at second base how far he can come off. Jesus Villalobos trying to keep him back. Ball is thrown from Servando to Kistler, and the ball's inside. Ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike. 1 out. Servando, the offering, right down the middle. Ludgate fouls it back to the screen. Full count to Hunter Ludgate. This is where you need to have the confidence that anything in your zone, you're going to put bat on ball and put the ball in play. The stretch from Servando Perez. The pitch. Strike 3.
Servando gets
right down the middle of the plate
for the second out of the inning. Now up for the Beet Diggers.
Alejandro
6. Ivan Cardenas.
Still at second base. Ivan Cardenas comes to the plate. Ivan struck out his first time up.
AC Ice, crystal clear ice, good for any drink and any time of the year. You can pick up AC Ice at any local grocery or convenience store in Northeast Colorado today.
The pitch from Servando, low and outside. Hondo leading off from second base. The secondary lead was extremely good. I like that. It's aggressive. Sometimes it forces the defense into mistakes. The pitch offering from Servando Perez to Ivan. Ivan pops it up. Kistler gives chase. Back to the screen, and the ball is just out of play. One ball, 1 strike to Ivan. Two outs. So we know anything hit into play, Alejandro will be getting on his high horse and moving on the hit, unless it's hit right at the third baseman, anything in front of him. But anything else, he should be able to score. The pitch from Servando Perez to Ivan Cardenas, a ball. 2 balls, 1 strike. Servando Perez, a sophomore. Ivan Cardenas, a freshman. The offering from Perez, swinging strike. Foul tip into Kistler's glove. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two balls, 2 strikes to Ivan Cardenas. The offering from Perez. Curveball. Upstairs, out of the zone. Perez jumps around like a spoiled little kid thinking that should have been a strike. Kistler turns around, looks down at the umpire, because Kistler's a good-sized kid. Looks down at the umpire, who's probably 5'5", and gives him the look. Valley is not like the strike zone today. There's not been that many base on balls. Umpires called a consistent game. Full count to Ivan Cardenas. The pitch from Perez. Foul tip. Kistler does not hold on. So Ivan Cardenas. I see. That's why Kistler didn't catch the ball. Catcher's interference. Coach Kistler is going to come out and check to see exactly what happened. Catcher obstruction. Hondo stays at second, and Ivan Cardenas goes down to first base.
I've never seen one of those before.
Going to get to first on the catcher interference. Now for the Beat Diggers, number 13, Kyle Wellen.
That'll bring up freshman Kyle Wellen. And Coach Kistler is going to come to the mound again. So
go ahead and
read.
We're
going to have a meeting at the mound. And while we do so, why not get some sponsors in? So, High Plains Bank. See what over a century of customer service can do for you at High Plains Bank in Wiggins, offering you a variety of banking needs, including agricultural and personal loans. And that's the end of the meeting at the mound for the Valley Vikings. Coach Kistler seems satisfied with what he said, and we're good to go.
2 outs in the inning. Alejandro Maltos Garcia leads off at second. Ivan Cardenas leads off at first. Brings to the plate Kyle Wellen, 2 for 2, and they wheel around and they pick Alejandro Maltos Garcia off between second and third. Perez throws to Jesus Villalobos, who gets it over to Dominic Triana, and Brush is out of the inning without scoring any runs.
Vikings get out of the top of the 6th. No
Brush Beat Digger baseball. Brush Beat Diggers are up on Valley Vikings 5. Valley Vikings 2 after 5.5 innings of play on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. We're to the bottom of the 6th inning in Valley at Volunteer Field, Gilcrest, Colorado. Servando Perez comes to the plate in the bottom of the 6th inning. Servando has reached on an error, and he also walked.
First pitch is swung on and driven to shortstop Nick Wellen, and he throws to first, but Kyle Wellen doesn't make the catch. And
Servando's gonna slide.
Looks like Ivan Cardenas goes behind him, throws to second, and that's where Servando Perez is safe. So Servando Perez is on second, And that'll bring up
Brandon Blanco, the designated hitter.
the DH.
Now up for the Vikings,
Woldridge
number 21.
looking down.
Brandon
And the pitch.
Blanco.
Right down Broadway for strike one.
It's pitch number 89 for Bryson Wooldridge.
Ludgate with the sign, and the offering popped up back into the beet digger, right next to the beet digger stands. And Wooldridge is giving a new ball.
The ball that was hit by Servando Perez to Nick Wellen. He picked it up clean, threw wild to first base, which allowed Servando Perez to be able to go to second. So that's an error on Nick Wellen.
And the offering. Swung and driven to Braxton, right
Brandon's
over
gonna
Braxton
line one into
Shelton.
the right center gap.
And
Servando
center
will
fielder
come
Carson
around
Rule
to score.
will throw it
And
in
Brandon will slide safely
to
the second
Bryson
for a
Wooldridge,
double.
Perez comes in for a
That'll
run.
bring the score to
and that'll
5-3.
bring the current score to 5-3
Now up
in
for the
favor
Vikings,
of
Number
Brush.
3, Jesus Villalobos.
And up to the plate is Jesus Villalobos.
Coach Kistler calls time. He's going to have a pinch runner for Brandon
Get a
Blanco.
courtesy runner, number 17,
Josiah Mudrow.
Mudrow.
The umpire is talking to Coach Kistler.
And I imagine what they'll end up doing is
We'll
they'll drop
get
the
a
designated
pinch
hitter
runner
with
for
Mudrow
Brandon.
coming into the
Number 17,
game.
Josiah Mudrow will go out to second base. Now up, number 3, Jesus Villalobos.
Wooldridge looks in, and the offering outside for ball one.
Jesus struck out, looking his first time, and has a single. 1 for 2 officially on the day.
Swung on and hit straight on a bouncer
Jesus will advance the runner,
to Braxton Shelton,
but will
second
be
baseman,
thrown out at
and he's
first
thrown out at first.
by the second baseman.
So we
Now
have
up for the
one
Vikings,
out
Number 12,
in the bottom of the sixth
Izzy
inning,
Gutierrez.
and that'll bring up number 12, Izzy Gutierrez.
Gutierrez, the number 9 hitter, has grounded out twice, officially 0 for 2 for the day. Bryson Wooldridge with pitch number 94.
He will line one right back up the middle for a single. That will bring
He
another
swung on it
run in
and
for the Vikings. Valley now
right over the
trailing
glove
5-4.
of Bryson Wooldridge, and he gets on first base. And that will bring in another run, I think.
That brought in a run, so the score should be 5-4.
Yep.
And that brings the top of the order with
That'll
Jacob
bring
Miles.
us back to the top of the lineup for the Vikings with number 2, Jacob Miles.
Jacob Miles officially on the day 0 for 3.
Wooldridge with a step off.
Brush needs to turn a double play right here. Stop this from becoming anything more than just the 2 runs.
And the pitch, he tried to bunt, but it went off the end of the bat, fouled to the beet digger dugout. So 1 strike to Jacob Miles.
Brush clinging to a 5-4 lead over the Valley Vikings.
Ludgate with the sign. And the throwback to first to keep Izzy Gutierrez honest. The offering. And that's outside for ball 1, but Hunter Ludgate throws to first base. Not in time.
Looks like Coach Kistler is going to put something on here with Jacob Miles, perhaps bunt. But he fouls it down the right field line and out of play.
So 1 ball, 2 strikes, and 1 out in the bottom of the 6th inning. And Jacob Miles is up to bat.
Come on, Jacob Miles, cooperate. Hit a ground ball so we can turn a double play.
That'll be ball 2. A little outside. Wooldridge looking down. And the pitch. Swung on grounder. And they get him at first.
Wooldridge picks up the ball probably about 20 feet from home plate towards the third base. Knows that he can't get the runner at second and goes over to first base for the out.
That'll bring up number 5, Tyler Kistler.
And this will bring up the catcher, Tyler Kistler. And it looks like we're going to have a courtesy runner.
We're going to get a pinch runner.
Or a pinch runner.
Izzy, number 8, Gio Mendoza.
Number 8, Gio Mendoza.
Maybe a little bit more speed on the bases. Number 2 hitter for Valley, Ty Kistler at the plate. 2 outs.
Beetigers leading 5-4. And the pitch. Strike 1 on the outside half of the plate.
Pitch number 100 for Bryson Wooldridge, still bringing it.
And the offering. Swung on and fouled right over the Beetiger dugout.
That was a defensive swing by Kistler. So the pitch was in the same spot as the first pitch to him, and he knew he needed to attempt to put bat on ball, fouled it off.
So strike 2 with 2 outs. And the offering in the dirt. And that'll bring up ball 1.
Hunter Ludgate did a nice job of just blocking that ball, keeping it in front, keeping the runner at second so that he can't move up.
Ludgate with the sign. And the pitch straight back to Bryson Wooldridge. And he throws to first for the last out of the inning. And we go to the top of the 7th. Beetigers leading 5, Valley 4.
Valley scored 2 runs on 2. One runner left on base.
To the top of the 7th,
Brush
Valley trailing
through 6 complete innings.
5-4.
5, Valley Vikings 4. You're listening to Beat Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Through 6 complete innings, Brush 5, Valley 4. Up to the plate for Brush in the top of the 7th inning is the number 9 hitter, freshman Kyle Wellen. Kyle Wellen has hit a single and a double, 2 for 2 officially on the day. Brush needs to be able to see if they can get some runners on base, one base at a time, move them up, see if we can score some runs. Wooldridge is in his 100-pitch zone, so he's down to either Brush makes a change here shortly or at the beginning of this next inning. We'll see what they end up doing. The pitch from Servando Perez, a ball low and outside to the freshman Kyle Wellen, wears number 13 on his back. The pitch from Servando Perez. Looks in for the sign from his catcher Kistler. The pitch. A strike on the inner third of the plate. 2 balls and 1 strike. To the leadoff hitter in the top of the 7th inning, number 9 hole. Kyle Wellen swings through the pitch. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Top of the order, will be coming up. Wellen flies out to
Ty
left
Stotts
field
will range
to
over
Ty
into the
Stotts.
gap and bring in the fly ball for the first out of the inning. That'll bring us
Top
back
of
to
the
top
order
of the lineup for the Beat Diggers.
to the
with
plate
number
for the Beat
34,
Diggers.
Carson
Carson Rule. He's walked. He's hit a line drive for an out, and he's singled. 1 for 2 official on the day. The pitch from Perez. Rule fouls the ball down the third baseline. Foul. It's between third base and the coach's third base coach's box where Coach Odell standing. He didn't even flag it. Just let it roll. Let somebody out of the Valley dugout run down the line in order to pick up the ball. Perez looks in for the sign, the offering. Breaking ball outside. 1 ball, 1 strike to Carson. .27 pitches for Servando Perez. Ball outside. 28 pitches, 14 balls, 14 strikes. A little bit all over, but effective. He didn't give up a run in the 6th inning. Carson Rule hits the ball to left field. Stotts misplays it, and Rule is going to be at second base with a stand-up double. He called the one triple. All he needs is a home run for the cycle. I hope he's not swinging for that, but it fouls the ball down the line, and the ball's out of play, just out of reach from Jason Garcia. Braxton knows what he's doing at the plate and knows he just needs to put bat on ball. Brush needs runs. You got a runner at second base in scoring position. Best thing for Braxton to do is just to be able to do what he's done the first 3 times up. Hit the ball hard, put it in play, make something happen. The center fielder's playing to the right field side of the field at this point in time because Shelton has hit the ball twice to right center field, so he's shading a little bit that direction. 1 ball, 1 strike to Shelton. Servo Perez sign the offering. Low in the dirt. Kistler scoops up, gets the ball back to Perez. 2 balls, 1 strike to Braxton Shelton. Brush could really use an insurance run here in the top of the 7th inning. The offering from Perez. Ball. Kistler framed it, thinking that was a strike, but I think that was down the river, maybe on the outside of the river. They're going to intentionally walk Braxton Shelton.
Shelton will go to first on the
That'll bring up Nick
for the Beat Diggers,
Wellen.
number
Nick Wellen,
21,
1 for 2.
Nick
Sac
Wellen.
fly out, and a single. I think Tom Odell comes to talk to the home plate umpire. See what he's doing. He's motioning that he's going to have Caden Schwint come in to pinch run for Braxton Shelton,
We're going to get a
so that
pitch
Braxton
runner,
Shelton
number
can
14,
go
Caden
to
Schwint will come
can
in
go to
for
the bullpen in
Shelton.
order to warm up. Hitter Nick Wellen. Ball is foul. Coach Odell had his windmill going in order to not only score Carson, but I'm sure who's a speedster. The pitch from Perez. first pitch from which would have been a balk, but the umpires did not see that, unless I'm seeing things. I very well could be. 2 balls and a strike to Nick Wellen. Just make sure the line drives get through, that they aren't caught, and we run into a double play by venturing too far off the bag. Pitch from Servando to Wellen, down and in. 3 balls, 1 strike. Servando Perez, this will be pitch number 38. He's thrown 20 balls, 17 strikes. And this pitch grounded to shortstop to Villalobos, who gets it to Izzy Gutierrez, but Gutierrez drops the ball. So it's an error by Gutierrez.
Fielding error on Izzy at second.
I'm sure that
that'll bring the bases loaded.
Valley was looking at a double play.
Ben Garrett.
But not to be. Bases loaded for Ben Garrett. 1 out. First pitch to Ben Garrett outside. I have Brush with 5 runs, 9 hits, 2 errors. Valley with 4 runs, 8 hits, 3 errors. The pitch from Servando Perez. Garrett hits the ball, tops it, and Dominic Triana gets it to Kistler for the force out at home plate.
At third, throw the runner out at home for the fielder's choice for the second out of the inning.
That'll bring up freshman Alejandro Maltos Garcia.
We'll get another pinch runner. Number 11, Hunter Dunn, will come in.
And Hunter Dunn comes in as a courtesy runner on first.
Now up for the Beat Diggers, number 12, Hondo Maltos Garcia.
Bank of Colorado is the only bank dedicated to help you make the most of living here. They're not just a bank in Colorado, they're Bank of Colorado. Proud supporter of local sports and academics.
Just call the play. First pitch, strike to Alejandro Maltos Garcia. 2 outs, bases are loaded. See if Brush can get a run in here in the top of the 7th inning. Pitch from Servando to Hondo. A strike on the outside corner of the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. Curveball, low and in to Hondo. 2 balls, 1 strike. Pitch from Servando Perez to Alejandro Maltos Garcia. A ball up and out of the zone.
Perez steps off, gets reset.
3 balls and a strike to Maltos Garcia. Pops it up. Second base, shortstop, both go out. Villalobos hauls the ball in for the 3rd out in the inning. Brush does not score any runs.
To bring in the fly ball for the 3rd.
He had no runs on 1 hit.
Valley gets out of it.
Valley
No
error,
we'll go to
and
bottom of 7.
bases were left
Valley
loaded.
Trailing 5-4.
Brush Beat Diggers are leading this game They have 5 runs to Valley Vikings 4 runs. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning on Brush Beat Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com.
Welcome back to Viking Field, where in Gilcrest, where the Brush Beaters lead the Valley Vikings 5-4.
We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Brush has these changes. Braxton Shelton is on the hill to replace Bryson Woldridge. Bryson Woldridge at first base. First pitch from Braxton Shelton, a strike to Ty Stotts. Alejandro Maltos Garcia is at second base, and Kyle Wellen moves to left field. Shelton hitting the ball higher quickly. 1 ball, 1 strike to Ty Stotts. That pitch was just a little bit outside. The pitch from Shelton. Stotts hits the ball to Wellen over his head in left field, and the ball is out of here for a home run.
Left field fence for a home run. That ties the ball game, ladies and gentlemen.
Shelton put the ball right over the inner third of the plate, and that was right in Stotts' wheelhouse, and he hit the ball hard. Left center field in this field is 365. And I think probably down the line it's about 330, so that was probably hit about 340. And I just made it over the fence. But that tied the score at Brush 5 and Valley 5. And that brings up Dominic Triana, the senior for Valley. Whole new ball game. Tied up. Bottom of the 7th inning. Pitch from Shelton. Curveball. A strike on the outer third of the plate. Shelton gets the ball. The pitch. Dominic Triana swings through the pitch for a strike.
Braxton is working fast, relatively.
He's getting the ball, getting the sign, firing away. The pitch.
Ooh.
Pretty close.
Very nice.
Pretty close. Ludgate, I thought he might have had a strike right there.
Yeah.
Umpire reaches up, touches his mask with his right hand, which is what he's been doing all day. I thought it was going to be a strike. The pitch from Shelton outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. See how Brush responds to Valley scoring a run in the bottom of the 7th inning. Dominic Triana swings through the pitch for strike 3. 1 out. Coach Kistler comes in, talks to the home plate umpire. I think he thinks that the ball ended up hitting the dirt after the strikeout, but Brush threw it around infield, gets it around to Woldridge at first. Woldridge steps on first base. Triana's out anyway. Jason Garcia steps in. First pitch from Braxton Shelton, a strike. Sure, Valley is invigorated in their dugout, thinking, hey, we've got a chance at being able to get our first Patriot League win. Second pitch from Shelton, a ball. And the third pitch, Shelton throws a curveball, and it ends up hitting.
That'll bring up number 14.
The batter, Jason Garcia. So he moves to first base, bringing up Servando Perez. Servando Perez 0 for 2 officially on the day. Jason Garcia took that ball in the lower half, looks like on his right leg. So he just stepped off first base, stretching, make sure he's okay to where he can run. Because Valley, if they're going to win this game, they need Jason Garcia to be able to round the bases. So need to make sure his leg is loose. Shelton from the stretch. The pitch to Servando Perez, a ball outside. Shelton working quickly, looks in for the sign, the offering, Looked to me like that was a strike. The umpire called it a ball. Servando looked like he was squaring around but didn't offer at the pitch. 2 balls, no strikes to Servando Perez for Valley. Shelton, quick turnaround, throws over to first base. Jason Garcia is back safe first. Shelton, the ball, ready to pitch. The offering, 2-hopper, 3-hopper to Wellen. Wellen gets the fielder's choice out to Alejandro Maltos Garcia at second base, but the runner is safe at first.
That'll bring up number 21, Brandon Blanco.
2 outs on the inning. Brandon Blanco re-entered into the game after being pinch run for Blanco, the designated hitter. 2 outs. Runner on first in the form of Servando Perez. Pitch from Braxton Shelton outside for ball 1. Shelton, the offering.
Ooh.
Pitch on the black, strike at the knees. 1 ball, 1 strike. The pitch from Shelton. Grounded to Wellen at shortstop, and
Servando's going to slide into third.
the ball skips past Wellen out to left field, and Servando Perez moves up to third base. Brandon Blanco's on at first with a base hit.
That'll bring us to our next batter for the Vikings, number 3, Jesus Villalobos.
Jesus Villalobos, 1 for 3 on the day, comes up the bat with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th inning. Runners for Valley on first and third. Shelton with the pitch. Villalobos swings through the pitch for a strike. This is where Shelton needs to exhibit his technique. Swinging strike. 2 to Jesus Villalobos. Brush wants a chance to be able to continue to play into the 8th inning. They need to get Villalobos out. And the ball fouled back, out of play. Shelton, 28 pitches, 12 strikes, 8 balls. No balls, 2 strikes to the batter, number 8 in the lineup. And they've got a hang up here. Shelton, runner takes off from first, goes to second. Now they've got the runner at third, hung up, and Servando Perez is tagged out at third base. Brush gets the third out in the inning. We will go to the top of the 8th inning. Brush Beat Diggers 5, Valley Vikings 5. You're listening to Beat Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com.
Welcome back to Volunteer Field in Gilcrest, where we have a tie game. Brush 5, Vikings 5, and we're going into extra innings.
For Brush, as they come to the top of the 8th inning, they will have Alejandro Maltos Garcia. At the bottom of the 7th inning, they scored 1 run on 2 hits. They left 1 runner on, and that run was an earned run, home run by Ty Stotts. Servando Perez continues to pitch for Valley. Bryson Wooldridge. Bryson Wooldridge is up to the bat. What did I do here? Bryson Wooldridge taps the ball foul and out of play. No balls, 1 strike to Bryson Wooldridge. Strike on the black. The 0-2 offering from Servando Perez. Upstairs. Ball 1. Bryson Wooldridge pitched well enough to get the win today, but Valley was able to score 3 runs, 2 in the 6th, 1 in the 7th, in order to send this game to extra innings. Wooldridge pops out to second base. Izzy Gutierrez for the first out in the inning.
We're going to get a
That'll be coming up. Number 22, Cesar Hinojos.
Cesar Hinojos will come into bat.
Hinojos will be hitting for Hunter Ludgate. The pitch from Servando Perez to Cesar. Pops it up. First pitch to Dominic Triana, the third baseman. Squeezes for the second out.
That'll bring up number 6, Ivan Cardenas.
Ivan Cardenas, number 6.
Ivan Cardenas comes to the plate for Brush. 2 outs in the top of the 8th inning. The pitch from Servando Perez, a ball. .48th pitch from Perez, and Cardenas fouls it off down the left field line. Perez, the offering to Cardenas. Cardenas, it's a sharp ground ball through the left side between shortstop and third base for a single.
That'll bring up number 13, Kyle Wellen.
Kyle Wellen comes to the plate for Brush. Top of the 8th inning, 2 outs. Ivan Cardenas on at first base. .50th pitch from Servando Perez. Ball's in the dirt to Kyle Wellen. Ball 1. Ivan Cardenas takes time, ties his shoe on the base. Time back in play. Perez with the sign, the offering. Ball's in the dirt. 2 balls, no strikes to Kyle Wellen. Cardenas, a short lead. The pitch from Perez fouled back by Wellen. 2 balls and a strike. The offering from Perez. Wellen grounds to Triana at third. Triana gets it over to Jason Garcia at first for the third out.
Throws the batter out at first for
Brush.
the third out of the inning.
No runs on
We'll
1
go to
hit,
the bottom of
no
the
Valley errors.
Tied
and
at 5.
one runner left on base. After 7.5 innings of play, Brush 5, Valley 5, you're listening to Beat Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com.
Welcome back to Volunteer Field here in Gilcrest, where we still have a tied game.
We join in progress to at the knees, low. 2 balls and a strike to Jesus Villalobos, a junior for the Valley Vikings. Shelton firing
Jesus will drive
quickly,
center field.
hits the ball to Carson Rule. Carson Rule squeezes.
Will settle under it for the first out of the inning.
And the out is recorded in center field for the first out in the inning. And that brings to the plate.
That'll bring us to number 12, Izzy Gutierrez.
Izzy Gutierrez, the hitter. Izzy Gutierrez is 1 for 3 on the day, 2 ground outs and a single. First pitch fouled back to the screen. Shelton knows what he's doing on the mound, toes the rubber, fires. Pitch, breaking ball, outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Pitch from Shelton, low in the dirt. Ludgate scoops it out of the dirt. I got Kyle Wellen in left, Carson Rule in center, Ivan Cardenas in right. The pitch in the dirt. 3 balls and a strike to Izzy Gutierrez. Garrett at third, Nick Wellen at short. Maltos Garcia, second baseman. Ball in the dirt, and Gutierrez takes first base on the ball 4.
For the Vikings.
And Bryson Woldridge at first base.
To the top of the lineup
Braxton Shelton,
number 2, Jacob
uncharacteristic, ends up throwing the ball in the dirt in the other batter's box to the screen. Gutierrez takes first, and that brings up Jacob Miles, top of the order for the Valley Vikings. Squares, but doesn't offer. Ludgate takes the pitch as a ball, throws down to first base. Izzy Gutierrez gets back to the bag safely at first. Shelton gets a sign, the offering. And that one is fouled back on an attempted bunt by Jacob Miles. .31 pitches for Braxton Shelton. Gutierrez not too far off. Ball in the dirt to Jacob Miles. The board has a ball and a strike. I've got 2 balls and a strike. I'm not sure which is accurate. Just because I have something different, it makes me think I might be wrong. But Miles bunts the ball, sacrifice bunt. Shelton grabs the ball about 15 feet from home plate, throws to first base for the out.
That gives us our second out of the inning. That'll bring us to our next batter, number 5, Tyler Kistler.
Izzy Gutierrez is at second base. There's 2 outs. Ty Kistler, the number 2 hitter in the lineup, 1 for 3 officially on the day, is at the plate. Shelton, the offering. Nice pitch, not called a strike. Looked like it was right on the black. Must have been just a hair width outside of being a strike. Shelton, the offering. The pitch, a strike. He moved that in about a ball's width, and he gets a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Shelton to the plate. Kistler hits the ball down the right field line. Foul.
Foul.
Just barely, maybe 2 feet. Even if Ivan Cardenas would have been on his high horse, I'm not sure he would have been able to get over there in order to pull that in as an out. Ludgate goes out to Braxton Shelton. They converse, make sure they're on the same page. You got a runner at second. Make sure there's not anything that's going to cross either one of them up. Kistler down in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch from Shelton. The ball was topped by Kistler down the third baseline. Garrett ends up picking up the ball in foul territory. Umpire calls foul. Shelton, this will be his 38th pitch since he came in relief of Bryson Wooldridge in the 7th inning. The pitch from Shelton. Wild pitch, and Izzy Gutierrez moves up to third base. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
On the wild pitch.
"90 feet away" is the winning run. Shelton with the pitch outside to Ty Kistler. 3 balls, 2 strikes to the number 2 hitter for the Valley Vikings. Izzy Gutierrez 90 feet away. Shelton with the pitch.
Tyler's going to drive one into right
Kistler
field.
hits the ball. It's fair. Izzy Gutierrez scores. Game is over. Ty Kistler gets the game-winning hit down the right field line. Final score, Valley 6, Brush 5. You're listening to Brush Bee Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com.
Welcome back to Volunteer Field here in Gilcrest, where Brush falls to the Valley Vikings 6-5 in extra innings.
Tough loss for Brush. They led the whole way. They were up in the game 3-1 after 2 innings. They were up 3-2 after 4 innings, and they were up 5-2 after 5 innings. And then from there, the Valley Vikings scored 2 in the bottom of the 6th to make it 5-4. They scored a run on Ty Stott's home run in the bottom of the 7th inning to tie it up at 5. Go to extra innings, and Ty Kistler gets the game-winning hit down the right field line where he drives Izzy Gutierrez in for the game-winning hit. Brush, they fall to 8-6 overall, and they're 2-2 in the Patriot League. Valley, who started out the day 0-3 in the Patriot League, picks up their first Patriot League win. So they're 1-3 in the Patriot League, and they even their record at 7-7. And that snaps their 3-game losing streak. I know that there's a Nuggets game that's on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. So we'll just do a quick run-through here where Brush scored 5 runs on 10 hits. There were 2 Beat Digger errors, and they left 6 runners on base. Valley, they scored 6 runs on 11 hits. They had 3 errors, and they stranded 9 runners on the day. To conclude, the sound engineer and producer of Brush Beat Digger Baseball is Rose Condis. For Evan James, I'm Kevin Fergus with the final score, Valley 6, Brush 5. You've been listening to Brush Beat Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com.